Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters challenge. We have two Kentucky sour mash bourbon whiskeys, and they're both bottled in Kentucky. Although this one, 10 High, is bottled in California and Kentucky, or at least it used to be. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So here's 10 High. Sour mash, 10 High, Kentucky bourbon whiskey, a blend. So it's a type of bourbon known as blended bourbon. There's Hiram Walker with his foot up, propped up on a whiskey barrel, holding up a glass of whiskey. Established 1879. Well, that's when the Hiram Walker Distillery was established in Canada. They used to own this Kentucky bourbon brand, but they sold their whole company to Barton Distilling about 50 years ago, and now it's under the control. And Barton was bought by the Sazerac Company in 2009. So really, this is the Sazerac version. They changed it from a straight bourbon whiskey to a blended bourbon whiskey. Okay, but I don't think this is still in production. I think it's been phased out. But I do see a lot of looking at a lot of websites, and a lot of people are still carrying this. But that could mean that they just had made so much of it, there's bottles left over, which is probably the case. So it's 51% straight bourbon, but it's 49% unaged grain neutral spirits. So a blended bourbon is allowed to have grain neutral spirits, which is unaged corn whiskey or any kind of grain whiskey, like, what they call moonshine. So it has no color to it, has no real flavor or anything. Can't exceed 49% of the volume, though. Another thing about blended bourbon, they're allowed to add coloring and flavoring to it, and they don't have to disclose that fact. Don't have to disclose it. And they don't say anything about flavoring or coloring here. So maybe it doesn't have it. I don't know. Sazerac's usually good about saying if it does. But nice looking bottle, kind of cream colored with the red and black, red and brown. It's really brown, red, brown, and black highlights. Kentucky sour mash 10 High. Okay. They changed the label. Now it's got an eagle. I used to not understand, like, why did they have two different 10 Highs on the shelf? For years, I would see this one and the one with the eagle. They would both say 10 High sour mash. And I was like, well, why would they sell two different labels at the same time? What I didn't realize was that as this was being phased out, the new 10 High was being phased in. I call it the eagle label. That was bourbon with natural flavors. All that label said, it doesn't say blended bourbon. It just says bourbon whiskey with natural flavors, also sour mash. And I don't know if that one has an age statement. I'll have to go check. But this one's aged 4 years. It says it right there, aged 4 years. 4 years or more old. That doesn't mean that the grain spirits are aged, because then they would be whiskey after 4 years. But they're just blended in with 4-year-old bourbon. Okay. $9.99 at Mathern's. Well, the bottles are all gone now. I bought one, and then I gave a bottle to my friend David. And then somebody else came in and bought the last one. So all they have now on the shelf is the, what I call the eagle label. Now, if these show up again over there, then I'm going to say, whoa, okay, it is still in production, but I don't think that's going to happen. Here's the competitor. And this is running $38 a bottle. Some stores got it $40-something a bottle. So I looked online and I found the price range going from $36.99 to $44.99, something like that. But I got it for $14.99. I'm not kidding you. Mathern's had this in the discount basket for $14.99. And I said, I got to buy it, 96 proof, no age statement, produced in Kentucky for Luxco, Lux Road Distillers. Luxco is the owner. It says from 1874. Yeah, well, yeah, heritage from 1874 with a different lineage going back. But the actual brand 10 High, not 10 High, Daviess County did not come out till 1936. I know that for a fact because I looked up the trademark data and it was first used in commerce in July 1936. Now, I'm not talking about this is the one they had in 36. I said Daviess County. This is a new edition. It's 96 proof and it's a double mash bill bourbon, meaning it's a blend of two bourbons, two straight bourbons. It's not like this bourbon whiskey, a blend, but a blend of two straight bourbons, a high rye mash bill and a wheated mash bill. They're both aged at least 4 years, and then they're blended together. And maybe they're aged together for a little while. They didn't really, I don't think they specified that, but we know the youngest whiskey in this is 4 years. Okay. And it's coming in at a high 96 proof. So a little bit too strong for my weak. I hate to say weak because then that's going to make people think if they drink 80 to 86 proof bourbon, they're weak. Cork. Real cork, real wood. But I mean, I guess it's indicative of that in a way because I can't handle these high proof I guess I can handle them, but I don't like them. I just don't like them. I had the old Granddad 114. Was it good? It was good. The flavor, but the flavor was nice. It was too strong. I was like, I would never drink. I told my friend David I would never drink that. I certainly would never buy it and I would never drink it. And then the attitude from some people is, well, you could add water to it and bring it down. I said, yeah, but then why would I pay $30 extra for a high proof bourbon then to turn around and add water to it to bring it down to 80 proof when I could get an 80 proof bourbon for $9.99? You know, there's no sense to that. I'll just save the $30 and drink one that's already watered down. That's how they get them down to 80 proof. They add water, tap water, and they bring it down, add it, and they got instruments that measure it. Okay, it's at 80 proof, stop. So it's at 40% alcohol, and they stop. They said that on the Barton. I was at the Barton Distillery, by the way. Barton brand. I was at the Barton Distillery. They don't give tours there anymore. In Kentucky, and the girl on the tour guide, she said, do you know how they bring it down to 80 proof or whatever proof they want? I didn't know, honestly. I'm not a distilling expert. She said, we just add tap water. This water comes down. I said, well, that's a simple thing. Make sure I got my notes correct. Pretty full, and it might get low. And next time you go back, it'll be full again. Then it'll get low, full. That's telling me people are buying that. 10 High is a top, kind of indicative of quality. A lot of people buy it just because it's cheap. Oh yes, I'm sure that's the case. I don't think they're buying it because they think it's no. On the other hand, I don't think they're buying it and then talking about how they hate it so much. You know what they're doing. They're buying it and they're making inexpensive cocktails, Manhattan, old fashioned, some other highballs. I don't know what I don't know anything about cocktails. Somebody asked me, what's your favorite cocktail? I've told none. You know, I just don't know. I don't make cocktails, like literally, unless you want to call the mix up a cocktail. Okay, technically, I guess the mix up videos are a cocktail. Like taking that Nikolai premium vodka with premium liqueur, 80 proof, and mixing it with like Pepsi Cola with sugar, made with real sugar. I guess that's a cocktail. Soda pop, you know, soft drink and vodka product. Okay, fine. But that's it. That's you said that's a pretty sad, shabby extent of cocktail mixology. Yeah, that's right. And that shows you how deep my interest is in it, which is basically nil. I'm not hostile to people that drink cocktails. On the other hand, if that's what you want to do, you say, I'm not into drinking stuff neat. I can't tolerate it. I got to mix it. I got to make, there's nothing wrong with that. Make cocktails, make highballs, perfectly fine. It's all about your preference. These videos are never about your preference or my preference. I'll mention it as a reference point, but the videos are really about, is the product quality, you know, more, is it a quality product? Is it is it marginal quality, or is it just like poor quality? Bad. I don't run across too many of those, but they exist. Not commonly. Okay. Cheers. Here we go. Yeah. It just smelled like regular old bourbon. What I mean is what? You know, charred oak corn, candy corn, corn kernels, nuts, what they call the little snacks that you can still find. You might get some honeysuckle nectar with these. They're pretty basic. To me, all the bourbons are pretty basic on their aroma and flavor. Now you say, oh, no, I paid $90 for this bottle. Still, I've tried some of those expensive ones. Pappy Van Winkle. I liked it, but I'm not going to pretend like I was overwhelmed by it. I liked it. I would like to have a full bottle. I just got a sample bottle somebody gave me. I didn't ask for it. They just gave. He said, you want these? I don't drink bourbon. He had a Pappy Van Winkle 18-year age in a little vial, like 50 milliliters of the Four Roses 10-year age special edition. They were nice. Can't complain, especially with the price being that they were free. Yeah, so aroma, this is a little more subdued, so less presence here. So I'm thinking this is the 10 high. On appearance, it's a draw. On aroma, it's the differences are minimal at best. So far, 10 high has the great advantage because we're looking at $9.99 versus at least $36.99, probably more like $38.99. So I mean, when you got about a $30 difference, it better really shine. You know, if I'm paying $30 more, I think it's fair to ask for that. I want $30 better. That's not asking too much, is it? Is that asking too much? You tell me. You pay $30 more, you should get $30 better. Not, oh, I paid $30 more, but it's like, yeah, it's like $5 better. Well, no, then you got $25 hosed. Which goes back to the light beer argument, which I don't this. I never could understand why people are paying all this premium price for light beer. And they're like, oh, Bud Light, you know, until April 2023, everything was Bud Light. I'm cool. I'm a man. I'm 40. I drink Bud Light, you know, and or they will drink Miller Lite or Coors Light or Michelob Ultra. You know, that's the four cool guy light beers. It's like, man, you're paying $23.99 for a suitcase of it. I said, I got a 30 pack of Milwaukee's Best Light for $19.99. I don't drink trash like that. I was like, there's no difference. Literally, there's no difference as far as quality. There might be subtle, almost imperceptible flavor and aroma note differences. And this one's 96 calories. That one's 100. Oh, wow. Big deal. 4 calories per can. Or bottle. Boy, that's a big deal now. So I'm thinking, why are you doing that? I could go right there to Walmart, get Keystone Light, Milwaukee's Best Light, or Natural Light, all considered substandard brands, for $19.99 a 30 pack, and you're gonna run over here and pay $24 for a suitcase, and you're losing 6 cans, but you gain nothing. You lost 6 cans on your purchase, but you paid $4 extra, and you gain nothing. Now, the purpose of this taste challenge is to see, do we gain anything with the $30 difference? I'm about to find out. Here we go. Already smelt them. Woo! That's a powerful flavor. Rich sweet corn, candy corn, charred oak. The wheated bourbon part, I guess it might soften it up. I couldn't say exactly. The rye, yeah, you get that minty rye thing going. I don't know the mash bill. Now, I see too many videos, and I mean too many, like a lot, where the people talking about the mash bill for this is, and then they'll give the percentage. This is the mash bill. 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% wheat. I'm like, where'd you get that information? Oh, wow. The worst answer is when they tell me, well, it's well known. It's well known. Or I read a blog, and then I look up the blog, some dude like Jimmy Joe Bourbon blog, and it's like, he'll tell you, this is this mash bill. It's like, well, Jimmy Joe, where'd you get the information? Site sources. You go to the website for the bourbon, there's nothing. There's nowhere on the website that they list bourbon. I'm sorry, Royale Club. There's no trademark on it. That's why I couldn't find a trademark information. I was like, why can't I find the trademark data? You know, every product in the world, it'll tell you, oh yeah, this was opted in such and such year. Can't find nothing. And then I'm looking at the bottle carefully. There's no indication that it was trademarked. Usually it'll say, right? Registered United States Trademark Office. Right here, like it says, right here. Actually, it doesn't say that. Come on, Sazerac. But it says on the thing, 1934. Well, what do you know? Daviess County. Doesn't say that either. Huh? Well, go to prove my point. Luxco Distillers. Distilled and aged in Kentucky, bottled for Luxco Distillers. Okay. Let me show you what I mean. Here's Rolling Rock. Oh man, I got splashed something on it. Can't find the trademark. What are you, stupid? Are you high? All right. Well, anyway, normally it'll say R with a circle around it, registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. All right. Or it'll spell it out. I think the Budweiser labels spell it out. You know, they write it out. Registered trademark, United States Patent Office. All right. This is obviously the 10 high, because it's kind of bland. Not bad. It's pleasant flavor. It's got creaminess. I like a vanilla flavor. Yeah, creamy vanilla, mild oak. Maybe they don't put that on alcohol labels for some reason. Put it on all the food. That's bizarre. Well, we'll figure something out. All right. It's nice. It's mellow, mild, easygoing. If you want to say it's a little bland, okay, I'll go along with that. So you get a little undertaste of the grain spirits, the unaged part of it. They're not supposed to taste like anything, but they do have a little flavor, like some kind of evocative of corn. Like when I was at the Barton Distillery, the lady had some uncut corn distillate. It was like roiling around in this machine. Like, I don't know why they were roiling it around, but it just kept turning. Like, you see the liquid just washing around. Wow, 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 wow. And she's like, you see this clear stuff here? She said, this is unaged grain spirits, corn distillate. She said, we make vodka out of it. Or, well, she said, well, we could make vodka out of it. We don't make vodka here anymore. I said, who makes your vodka? Midwest Grain Products? And she said, yeah, that's who we buy it from. Because because she was showing me this old column still. They said, but we don't use it anymore. And then she said, but we use this for the whiskeys, this grain spirit. She showed us the corn first, pouring into the vat. Corn kernels, thousands and millions of corn coming off an 18-wheeler. I got videos for it on my channel. And then she said, y'all can try it. And she let us, 2 different guys drink out the same cup. I'm like, should we be drinking one after the other? She said, at 190 proof, germs can't live on this. I didn't really believe that. But it almost floored me. She said, don't take a big sip. It's really strong. So I just took a little sip. Oh, it almost knocked me out. It burned my lips. Burn. It burns. And but you could pick up some scintilla of flavor, which was just corn based. She said, this is what we use to make the whiskey. Okay. And they sell that product there at the store also. You can buy what she let us taste. You can buy it at the store bottled. It's called Diesel. It's not really Diesel. That's just the name of it, Diesel. 190 proof grain neutral spirits. Well, I wouldn't buy it, but I know that there's a company that sells daiquiri products at a baseball game in college baseball too. And they make it a orange tangerine, like, orange food coloring and tangerine flavoring mixed with diesel. That's the liquor they add to make that daiquiri concoction, the frozen, like an ice puree. And I tasted a little bit of it. Ugh, it was horrible. It just stunk. I couldn't get that taste out of my mouth. But I know this lady, she goes to the games and she'll be sipping on a big old cup of it. This big. And as the game goes on, she gets more progressively more belligerent, loud, obnoxious, and obviously drunk. And I'm thinking, wow, lady, do you realize that's 190 proof? I'm not saying they use a whole lot of it in there. They wouldn't need to, but boy, woo-wee. Oh, and Luxco sells their own 190 proof product. It's called Everclear. You might have heard of it. You heard of Everclear probably. They sell it. Oh, yeah. And then there's a third company. Who is that? People from New Jersey, I believe it is. Oh, no, it's McCormick, right? It's called Gem Clear. Gem, Gem, Gem Clear. It's got like a diamond on it. I've seen that around, not here, but in other states. Gem Clear. They're all the same. 190 proof, clear. If you're going to buy that, get the cheapest one because it ain't going to make a difference. Daviess County wins. I don't know about it. It's $30 better, but it's better. So is it better? Yeah. $30. I would have to think about that. But the most important point is I didn't pay $30. I paid $14.99. So would I have purchased this for $38.99? Oh, I mean, I might have down the road, not with all the bourbon I got backstocked, I wouldn't have. But when I saw this for $14.99, there was no way I was passing it up. I was like, that's a no-brainer. You got to buy it. And I did buy it. And it's a value, great value. So I can't really speak to the price, the regular price, because I didn't pay that. But it's your call. If you want to pay the $36 to $40 for it, go ahead. It's a real winner. If you want to try a cheapo, that's not half bad. Get the 10 high, but like I say, you might have trouble finding this particular bottle. But then on the other hand, you might not. Your local liquor store might have a major backstock of it. But you got to look for the one with the man on it, on the label. If you see the one with the eagle, that's the current 10 high. Okay, I'm gonna bring that in for Friday, tomorrow. Okay, so this is what we're doing now. And as expected, it couldn't match up, But I'll bring in the new 10 high. I say new, it's probably been on the market 8 years, but phased in. Now it's on. So I'm gonna bring in the new 10 high, the current 10 high, because that could change overnight. The current 10 high, which I can get right there at Walmart. $16.99, or I can go to Mathern's and get it for $16.99, or I can go to Total Wine and More and get it for $15.99. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.